nasty, dude.
What?
All right.
So much
No, here we are.
Good.
I know.
Can't fuck with. Oh, it's mango.
Harder for both people.
No, just try it a little more. That's what I said when I first had it.
Alright, here we go. First episode of Wavyshi podcast. Here we are. We're here. I'm in my friend Jack Pavlak's basement. We're just vibing out, and I have a friend to come on for the first ever podcast. I'm going to be welcoming here to talk about his experiences as a lacrosse player, his path to college sports, and the passions that really make him him. Here's my friend Quinn Fitzgerald. Yes, sir. What's up? How you doing? How you doing?
I'm doing good, Reese. I'm doing good. How about you?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I just want to say thank you for coming on. This is going to be a huge start, and I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
So here, let's just go ahead and go right in. What got you started with lacrosse?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me, because I'm very honored to be on this, the first of hopefully many of these podcasts. So I started playing lacrosse. I was in 3rd grade, the first year I played. My dad and I, maybe the fall before, my dad and I, we were just watching TV, watching flipping through the channels basically. And he came along this weird game that neither of us had ever really seen before, called lacrosse. And I was like, Dad, this is stupid. Can we please change this? He's like, no, hang on. I kind of want to see what this is. And it was some college lacrosse game. I feel like it was I can't remember the other team, but I do remember it was Duke.
All right, yeah. So they're good. Yeah, so we're watching good lacrosse.
Yeah.
That's what Chase did to me.
So yeah, we watched that game, and I just remember being so enamored by it, because I'd never seen anything like it. Second, 3rd grade me was it was football. It was only football, right?
Exactly.
Because my dad played in high school, his brothers did, and I was gonna play. I was playing flag football all the time. It was just football. I was just completely centered on football, and it was this new game. It was just very, very fascinating to me, because it was crazy how the ball would just move so fast, the camera couldn't even track it, and it was just the way that everything moved. I think for me, it was just so totally fascinating to me. And so that spring, I came out for this local club called Northside Lacrosse, which I don't even know if is still functioning now, because they were kind of already kind of on their way out, but. So I started playing them. My old man, my dad actually got suckered into coaching my team.
Yeah.
Because we went to the parent meeting, and the director of the club, she came up to my dad and she was like, "Hey, we don't have a coach, and if we don't have a coach, we're not gonna have a team." So my dad was like, "All right, I guess I'll do it."
But did he have any idea before watching that show?
No,
the
absolutely
game?
No.
Dang.
No, lacrosse it didn't get started in Indiana until early 2000s maybe. It's always been a very predominantly East Coast sport.
Yeah.
It's starting to gain some traction out west. There's some sick teams out in Cali.
Yeah.
The University of Denver has or I think it's Denver University, has a really, really good team. They're competing for national championship every year. And there's starting to get some they're starting to have some high school programs who are gaining a little bit of ground here, Culver. I mean, I don't consider them an Indiana team because they have kids from everywhere. But,
exactly.
And then there's you got your Cathedral, your Carmel. Those guys, they're playing some pretty sick lacrosse. So it's growing out here. But I mean, it's still very much an East Coast sport.
Yeah.
All your blue chip guys, your blue chip recruits, they're coming out of the East Coast.
Yeah, exactly. Because so I grew up here. It was all basketball. From when I was born to 9.
Yep.
And then I go up to Michigan with all the hockey players and all that.
Yeah.
And lacrosse is huge. And so basically I started playing, and then when I moved out west, I stopped playing. But and then I came back. Mm-hmm. Dude, when you said the things about the way it moves, I was never able to understand that. So I see for you how that would work, but for me, zero clue how lacrosse
especially for me, because I play offense, I play attack, so I have a very offensive mind about the game, and so I don't know, I just get very fascinated by just the way stuff is, I guess.
And so,
for lack of a better term.
Yeah, but you obviously know a lot because you're going to Florida Tech. You're a commit there.
Yep.
You want to talk a little bit about that?
So my recruitment process was very, very underground, I guess you would call it. Florida Tech was my only offer. But I'm not saying that I don't think that I'm compromising at all. Going to Florida Tech, I do think it's the school for me. But my recruiting process, I kind of got shafted by the local club team here that I played for. You know, they talked me up with like all this stuff, like, oh yeah, like we're gonna get you like Division 1. Like we think that you're a Division 1 guy. You're gonna get there, okay? That just wasn't true at all. I'm not a Division 1 guy. Like I can accept that. Like I could like maybe run with like a small Division 1, but I'm very okay. I'm very okay, very content with being Division 2. I'm not gonna play professional lacrosse, so it's like it doesn't matter anyways that much to me. But so I started playing for this club team in Long Island last fall. I think it was. Yeah, I think it was last fall. Called the Long Island Sting. And they're based in Long Island, but like none of the guys are actually from Long Island. It's all guys like me who like their own club teams back home just aren't getting it done for them. So like I got kids on my team from like Minnesota, from Illinois, then like all up and down the Eastern Seaboard. There's I think 2 or 3 kids on my team this year who are from Seattle.
Dang.
I played with a kid from Nova Scotia last year up in Canada.
Holy
so
cow.
I mean it's kids from all over the place, and it's super cool because like you just learn so much about so many different places.
Yeah, that's sick as hell.
Yeah, like I forget I think that they don't have Chick-fil-A in Washington. Was it Chick-fil-A? It may have been. It was either like Chick-fil-A or Chipotle. It was something that like I eat a lot. They just didn't have, and I thought that was so crazy. But
yeah,
but
I
anyways,
could not live without Chick.
Yeah, so like the first look that I really liked from a school was Florida Southern. They contacted me last fall after they saw me playing with the Sting, and so like I was on them for a while. I eventually like so quarantine hits, like I only get like half my summer. In like June or May, I slept over at my cousin Colin's house. I wake up in the morning and I have this notification on my phone. I got followed by the Florida Tech men's lacrosse Instagram page. I was like, what in the fuck is Florida Tech? So I looked it up, right? I'm like, oh, it's in Melbourne, Florida, which is on the water. I was like, oh, that's kind of neat. Oh, they're Division 2. Oh, they're in the same conference as Florida Southern. Oh, they have a really good I want to study marine biology. They have a really good marine biology program. Oh, they compete for conference titles every year. Okay, this might be kind of legit. So I went ahead and emailed Coach Penn.
Yeah.
And he got back to me. He was like, yeah, I mean, like, we like you a lot. Let's, like, get on Zoom call. So, like, got on Zoom with them. And we set up a visit for me. So, over... What was it? Was it Christmas break? No, it was over fall break this year. I went down. I visited at Florida Tech. My mom and I did like this tour of Florida because, like, there were other schools that I was looking for that weren't for lacrosse. So I visited at Florida Tech and Florida Southern. Then I visited also Eckerd and Miami down there because they both just have like really good marine biology programs. But so I got my visit with Florida Southern was strange. I feel like I thought that, like right then and there they were gonna offer me. Like they've been like they're doing like their recruiting thing. You know, like they're telling me like, yeah, like we like you, like we could see you contributing here, right? They didn't offer me. My mom and I met with all 3 of their coaches, which I mean I liked a lot. I thought they like seemed like they'd be pretty fun to play for, but they didn't offer me. For some reason, they were really tripped up about the fact that I was looking at schools to not play lacrosse at, which was just kind of odd to me. Which like I could see that if you're like a Duke or like Notre Dame, like you don't like you want guys who are all the way in, but it's like this division to lacrosse.
Exactly.
Come on. But yeah, so like that didn't go quite like we thought it would. Florida Tech was our last visit, and I mean it's just a phenomenal campus. It's very, very low key. Melbourne's a fantastic city. Like it's not all touristy, and like there's like Ron Johns like thrown in your face all the time. Like you can't trip and fall over without like landing in an ice cream shack. You know, it's I think there's like 2 surf styles in all of Melbourne that we drove by, and like the beach is like 10 minutes from where I'm gonna be staying in my dorms, and like it's just a phenomenal place. So that was actually a 2-day visit. The first day, like took a tour, talked to coach a little bit. The second day, I watched their practice with another kid who committed with me. His name's Jack Ferris. He's from Jupiter for us. So it was like an hour drive for him. But so yeah, we watched that practice, and then we both had individual meetings with coach. Coach offered me in that meeting. I wanted to commit right then and there, but Coach Penn was like, all right, look, like I want you to go home, sit on it, you know, like talk to me about the people you care about, and then you can get back to me in like a day or 2. Well, I get home, the next day I was like talking about it with my parents. They're like, yeah, go for it. I'm like, all right. So I texted Coach Penn. I was like, Coach, I'm ready to be Panther, and the rest is history.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yeah. First off, congratulations. I know you just had
Thank you.
signing day.
I did.
A little bit ago.
Yep.
So congrats on that.
Thank you.
But I know this, and it's been hinted a little bit so far. I know that you're really into nature. I know that you're a big hunting guy, fishing guy,
Yep,
basically anything nature.
Yep.
So if you just want to give me a little bit of insight on that, what you like about hunting, just being out in nature, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, like most fishermen and hunters, I was born into it. Not so much the hunting thing, I guess, but my dad, his father before him, and probably his father before him, they're all huge fishermen. I mean, my old grandpa Mike, like, he was pissed off on vacation if he wasn't fishing, you know? Like,
I feel.
There's like one story of him. We were in South Carolina. I was probably like 5 years old or something. We were out fishing on a boat, and we pulled up to this abandoned dock that had like some black trout under it, and the rest of us like got out of the boat. The boat was like docked, so he was fishing from the dock, and he sets up 4 poles. He's the only one on the boat. He sets up 4 poles like on the bow in front of it. And we're like, dude, what are you gonna do if one of them goes off and the other one goes off with it? He's like, I'll figure it out. I don't think anything ever came of it, but yeah, so like it's definitely a huge fishing family. I think that. So I think that I'm definitely a bigger fisherman than I am a hunter. I definitely don't get to hunt as much as I would like to.
Yeah.
Which is partially like my lack of knowledge and time, but also partially due to a lack of like hunting grounds, I guess you would say, in Indiana. I mean, like your public land hunts, there's very, very little public land. So any good public land you're gonna find is very few and far between, and what you do find is gonna be very like overhunted, overpopulated, right? Fishing, I mean, you can fish anywhere, right? Anywhere there's water, there's fishing, right? The legality of it is a little bit different, because it's like this. It's the same thing as hunting. There's so little public water that you're like allowed to fish that like any water that you do find is gonna be so overfished that it's just not. I think that for me, so there's a common misconception around fishers and hunters that it's about a bloodlust. Like, I want to shoot this deer, or I want to shoot this duck, or I want to shoot this squirrel because I want to see it die. That's not true at all.
Yeah.
For me, it's like, it's so much more of like a spiritual thing. At the risk of sounding like a hippie, it's very, very spiritual, because it's like, I'm gonna know more about those ducks than you probably ever will. Yeah. Because it's in such a different way. Like, I'm learning so much about every species that I'm pursuing. It's very like, it's also about meat too. Like, I'm not gonna hunt something that I'm not gonna kill. Fishing's different because like I don't want to eat all the fish that I catch. Because they just don't taste good and it'd be a waste. But it's like, it's definitely about meat, and there's no better feeling than eating something that you just shot or caught that morning. I mean, it's just like, you want to talk about like freshness. I mean, there's it's just nothing compares, right? I mean, and fishing's kind of the same thing. It's this weird what's the word? We can cut this part out, right? Well, I'm spaced out. What's it? This cut. I can't remember what's the fucking word.
You good?
Freddie, what's the word for Freddie? Yeah. What's the word for something that's like, it's like this thing that like contradicts itself? Paradox. It's a paradox.
Also, I'm gonna say I'm not gonna cut that out.
God damn it. Okay, well, it's this very strange paradox, as I was saying, because it's like you have this great love for something, but at the same time you want to kill it.
Yeah.
And in my mind, fishing and hunting, they've always been a display of love for nature, I think.
Yeah.
It's honestly, it's something that's very, very hard to explain to someone until you do it. And I mean, on top of like the actual pursuing, just being out there is just so freeing. Like last spring, I went on a turkey hunt, my first ever turkey hunt. We didn't see a damn bird, right? We were out there for probably like 4 hours. It's out up in Muscatatuck, which is, again, it's a private, or not private,
public.
It's public land, so like it's not that good. But But we went out there. It was me, my dad, and Colin, my cousin. We were out there we had to get out there like 6:30 in the morning. So and it's like 2 hours away. So we had to get up at like literally 4 o'clock in the morning, so we could go out and beat the birds before they got out of the roost. And we didn't see a damn thing all morning. And it's my favorite hunt that I've ever had, just because like the style of turkey hunting that we were doing, you're sitting in a blind and you are not moving. So like there's like different kinds of turkey hunting that I'll probably do in the future, where like you're stalking birds, like you're calling and you're like going to the birds. This one you're sitting in a blind and you're just waiting. You're waiting, you wait. And it is so, it's just indescribable, honestly, because it's like you're sitting in nature. Nothing knows that you're there. There ain't a damn bug that knows that you're there. And for me, it's very much like, I'm a religious man, so like it's like you're living life as God intended it to, and like as God intended it to be lived. You're out of like the city bullshit. Like you don't have school to worry about. You don't got a girlfriend to worry about. Love you, Austin, if you're watching. You don't have to worry about your college. You don't have to worry about a damn thing, right? And it's just so freeing to me. And honestly, I feel like I have no idea where I would be if I didn't hunt and fish. I would just be like in an insane asylum, honestly. Like,
I can kind of relate to that. So I have an uncle who has a boat, and he lives in Massachusetts, and whenever we would go, me and my family, up there to Massachusetts, he'd always be like, hey, at least one time in the summer, let's get up early and go out to go fish. And you're right, it's just the fact of like being the first out there, like being the first out on the water, and then it's still, and you just sit there and you throw your lines out and you just wait. It is peaceful. And it gets me away from all like the fast city lifestyle.
Just
like,
the hustle and bustle of life. Like sometimes you just gotta get out of it. Like I know that I hate it. I hate it a lot. It's necessary, but I absolutely hate it. That's why I do it. Just to get away from it.
So I'm gonna bring in Ryan. Come on in here.
Oh yeah.
So, because I know that you're really into nature, you and Ryan, you guys started the Wilderness Outdoor Club, or WO Club.
Correct.
You want to tell me why you did that and what you do with it?
Yeah. So basically, our mission
is to get people outside.
So we have a conservation club at Brebeuf, and it's pretty big. Like it's a fortified club. They're bona fide, they're blue chip. Like they've been around for a while. They've got a lot of people. They do a lot of really good stuff. And so like our mission, they're giving people what to do to like help like save the planet. Our goal, I think, was kind of to try to give people why to do it.
So theirs was like they want to conserve the planet, but they weren't really going outside during the day.
True.
And so like we wanted to get people outside because school is stressful enough as it is.
Exactly.
And like the way I relieve stress is like going outside, and like when you go outside by yourself, it can get kind of lonely. And I feel like other people feel that way. But if we get a central place, we can get a certain time and place to go outside and relax and
I really like that.
Yeah.
I know I like it. That's why I joined. I really like being outside. Just the idea of like slowing down, being with yourself, being with your thoughts. So you can actually think. I feel like now with school, they all like kind of tell you what to think about. But now it's like you can just go out there and just do your own thing.
Whatever you want.
Exactly.
Whatever the hell you want.
I like that.
That's like I talked about, like I'm a religious guy, like I'm Catholic. That's like my church. Like I despise church so much. Outside is my church. Like that's where I go to, like I think about like God, I think about everything in my life. I like pray a little bit, and it's like it's just where like you can just be. Honestly, you can just be out there. Honestly, like
in the present. And I like focusing on like college in the future and what I gotta turn in and what teacher's gonna give me what grade on a test and how that grade's gonna affect.
Definitely.
Exactly. Exactly.
You're just in the moment.
Ryan and I definitely share like a lot of the same philosophy about fishing and hunting, which is definitely like why we came together and did this.
Exactly.
Honestly, COVID floored all of our plans that we had. Like we got
some really big ones.
We had some pretty sick stuff lined up. We got our feet up off the ground, or I guess we got them on the ground. We got our feet on the ground January, February last year or so. So like actually like about a year right now. And it's cold, right? So like there's not a whole lot of stuff that we can do. And then like so we were just having like little bit of meetings. Like we would watch like Planet Earth or something like and like when it got like a little bit warmer, we would like go outside and like play a game of like 2 and touch football.
Yeah.
But by the time it rolls around, like we get like but like by the time that spring rolls around and like the ice starts to melt, we can actually like go and like fish and like hike and do stuff.
Yeah, COVID.
We all know how that went, right?
So it's like having like a bonfire day.
Yeah,
bonfire.
Yeah, like
in the backfield.
Yeah, like a camp out type of deal at school, and they're being
sorry, they're watching Barstool Sports Fight Night. That's what we're watching.
Guys.
Nah, it's cool. It's just the vibe. It's what's going on. Thank you, Ryan. We appreciate it.
Yeah, anytime.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you. Definitely have your own podcast too. Like have you up on here. That'd be fun. So, I've heard a lot about religion from you, slowing down all of this. I know that you were a leader on a retreat that I went on that I really liked. And
I had no idea.
Yeah, I had no idea. I didn't know until I was there. I had some suspicions, but I didn't know. So I guess my question is, what's the importance of slowing down for you? And what do you like get out of it, and what do you kind of just explain that.
I mean, to me, it's of the utmost importance. Like, just like I talked about with fishing, hunting, like you gotta get away from everything. And I think retreat is definitely a really, really good way to do that. The retreat that we go on at Brebeuf, our junior or senior year, is the Kairos retreat, which translates to God's time. This is a thing across all Jesuit schools. If you go to a Jesuit high school, you have at least the opportunity to go on Kairos.
And you should. Yeah, it's super fun. We can't tell you about it because it's secret.
we can't tell you like everything about it.
Because that's why I didn't know that he was going to be my leader. Yeah. It has to be a complete secret.
Yeah, it's very, very secretive. There's a lot of tradition around it. But Kairos translates to God's time, which is something that like, I guess I shouldn't like divulge that much about it. Yeah. I'm just gonna not divulge anything. But it's something that like is very, very emphasized throughout the retreat, is that it's God's time, and like you aren't worrying about anything else. Because I think it's like Chronos is like normal time or something like that, and Kairos is God's time. But that's definitely the emphasis of it. And even for me, just getting to lead it was super, super rewarding for me. I went last February, so right before this shitstorm of a year started last year. It definitely came to me. I definitely went in a time in my life where I didn't know that I was about to need it really bad. That benefited me a lot. I couldn't really imagine going through all of quarantine without having gone on a Kairos. You're just able to learn so much about yourself and about what you believe in. Honestly, like, and I think that leading it too just aided that as well. Like it just kind of re-emphasized the stuff that I learned about myself. And it's also very rewarding sometimes to watch someone go on the same path that you went on. So like I watched that with like, you went on it, Chase, Pav, Reese, they all went on it.
Friends over there.
Yeah, our boys over there, they all went on it. And it's just so rewarding to watch someone else do the same thing that you did. And I think that just getting away from school, like it sucks. I'm up to my neck in missing work right now. I'm like, I have missing work out of the ass right now. But honestly, I don't care, right? It's like, we're second semester seniors. I'm already into the college that I'm going to play lacrosse at.
Exactly.
I don't care. And it was just it's so worth it. I think just being able to get out of it. So like, my advice to anybody listening, if you were worried.
All right. Sorry about that. We just had a little break. Stopped recording. We were talking about Kairos, but I think we kind of finished that. So now what I'm gonna transition it to is, I think it's something that I've noticed, I've known for a while.
She is in awe. She's unbelievable.
What do you want to do with your college degree? Like, what do you want to do if money doesn't matter? Like, what's an ideal lifestyle that you want to be living?
Well, the joke that I've always had is like, I'm gonna drop out and go buy a boat in Florida and become a fishing guide. And honestly, that's only really been half of a joke. I feel like that I would really love to do that, like, because I love like getting people who have never fished before and like just taking fishing, just kind of like teaching stuff. I feel like my patience will be tested heavily. However, I'm fishing, so it's like
true.
True. But so I think that I'm gonna go for a tech, play some ball. I'll get my marine biology degree.
See, that's interesting.
And depending on what, so I've never really known what exactly I want to be. I just know what field I want to go into. So depending on like what opportunities present themselves to me, I may go to grad school.
Yeah.
Because there's like a couple like graduate assistants who are actually like in the marine biology like grad program.
At Florida Tech.
Yeah, at Florida Tech. Like actually, I talked to one of the grad coaches. So like I could like see myself doing that. But basically, my end goal is to just do something outside. So like I feel like being a fisheries biologist or a wildlife biologist who basically just like watches and study. They pick like one species and they just go all in on that species. So like I could see myself being like a fisheries biologist for like tarpon or snook or redfish or hell even largemouth bass, right?
Yeah.
Like just doing something outside. I can't do a desk job.
Yeah.
I cannot for life of me. I'd rather shoot myself than sit at a desk and work a white collar job for like 80 hours a week. And
Exactly.
if it meant that I would make $1 million, I wouldn't do it. So I just want to do something outside and something like that's interactive. It keeps me interested, engaged, and curious. That's a big thing for me. I want to like stay curious because like I don't want to necessarily know everything about the ocean or about hell, like even like a pond in someone's backyard. I don't want to know everything about that because I just want to keep learning and learning and learning, right? So I think like, and I want like a quiet life too. I think like I don't want to live in a city at all. Like I would rather have no neighbors. Like I kind of want to live in like rural type area. Like my cousin Colin lives out like in New Pal. His closest neighbor is like 500 yards away, I think, something like that. There's probably like I could count on my hand the amount of people who live on his block.
Damn.
And like that would be something that I would like a lot. I'd like a family, like like have a wife, maybe like a couple kids, a couple dogs, and yeah, just kind of like kick back, honestly.
Yeah. I mess with that. I mess with that a lot. I know that we have a lot of people who are like really focused on money, and I think it's important for us to do stuff like that. Stay outside and something. Sorry, my bad. Something that I've noticed, at least going fishing with my uncle, and could definitely apply to you. Yeah, the curiosity of like wanting to know what's under the lake, under the water, because you can't see.
Exactly.
So when you cast a rod out there or whatever, and then you realize that a tree is there or something. Yeah, I see how like that curiosity.
It's the little stuff like that.
Yeah, and like getting to know the land that you're hunting and stuff.
Yep,
yeah, so I definitely mess with that.
Yep.
Anyways, I think that's it. We kind of killed it.
We sure did. Yep. It's been a pleasure, my friend.
Awesome. So you're good to go. I'm gonna plug it at the end with this little sponsor type thing.
Oh yeah, that's how you do a sponsor.
So I'll catch you later.
Right on.
Good stuff.
Thanks for having me.
So we're here. I have ARDEN. It is a watch company that I will put some photos up on the video for. They give out some watches that you can buy, and we're gonna get some codes that I'll put down in the description for you guys to use. So yeah. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate it. We're gonna be posting more people, everything. Stay posted. See ya.
All right.